We are coming to you from the city beautiful Chicago, Illinois, where this afternoon Comcast Sportsnet presents White Sox baseball. It's Jose Abreu, Alexi Ramirez, Abaciel, Garcia, and our Sox as they get set to butt heads with Victor Martinez and the Detroit Tigers. Hi, everybody, and welcome. With Steve Stone, I'm Ken Harrelson as we get set to bring you the finale of this four-game set. As you know, they've taken two of the first three. They won the opener 7-1 behind Verlander. Then yesterday, Chris Sale got the win over Max Scherzer. Beautiful pitch game by Chris. And in this, the nightcap, it was a battle of the bullpens, and they won that battle. So this afternoon, we've got two good pitchers out there, but we got a man leading off for us who's really been doing well.
Since the All-Star break, Adam Eaton has been all everything. It's no surprise that Abreu's runs batted in are climbing toward the century mark because Adam Eaton keeps getting on. 434 since the All-Star break. He scored 20 runs. But the on-base percentage, almost 500. That's unbelievable. The defense he gives you is sensational every day. And this is a guy that we dearly missed when he was disabled against the Tigers, hitting 400. So they don't want to see him either, but in the lineup he is. And he's been the catalyst and will be the catalyst going into next year when I believe this will be a lot better ball club. Well,
those two good pitchers that I mentioned for us is Jose Quintana. For them is Rick Porcello.
Porcello's had a great year, and Quintana has had an underrated year. So you look at Porcello against our Sox. He's 9-6 lifetime. His ERA 4.10. He's won 15 games overall, tied for his team lead. Jose Quintana's 3-1 lifetime against these Tigers. This year, 3 starts. He's 1-1. His ERA an even 4. Hopefully the offense can come to play. The defense can catch a few baseballs behind Jose because he's thrown much better than his record would indicate, and he's a good young pitcher.
All right, a beautiful day here in the city, beautiful for baseball. So sit back, relax, and strap it down. White Sox baseball coming.
Sox baseball on Comcast Sportsnet is brought to you in part by your Chicago area and Northwest Indiana Lexus dealer, who invites you to test drive a Lexus today. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois, through it all. AT&T Uverse. Find out what's possible with AT&T. Call 1-800-PIC-ATT, mobilizing your world. And by Ford. Check out America's freshest lineup at your local Ford store or at localfordstores.com.
Welcome back to beautiful U.S. Cellular Field. A gorgeous day today. It's 86 degrees at game time. The wind will be very much a factor, as it usually swirls here at U.S. Cellular. And the Tigers, although they split the doubleheader yesterday, find themselves in a tie with Kansas City atop the leaderboard in the American League Central. This is going to be quite a race, and there's a few very good races as we head into September and down the stretch. So let's take a look at how Brad Ausmus is going to line up his first place Detroit Tigers. It's going to be Rajai Davis leading it off with Ian Kinsler in the 2 spot. Then it's Torrey Hunter, who's torched the Sox pitching this year. Victor Martinez, who is lighting up everybody, along with J.D. Martinez in left field. Nick Castellanos in third. Don Kelly is at first base with Eugenio Suarez at shortstop, and Brian Holiday hitting 9th and doing the catching. The defense and how they'll line up behind Jose Quintana. Van Viciedo, Adam Eaton, and Abisail Garcia in the outfield with Connor Gillespie, Leary Garcia, Carlos Sanchez, Andy Wilkins in the infield. Tyler Flowers gets a nod behind the plate, and our Lexus pursuing perfection starting pitcher is Jose Quintana. Jose looking for his 7th win this year. ERA still under 3.5, 142 strikeouts. In 165 2/3, his control has been good, and by and large, he's pitched much better than that record would indicate. The umpires for the game today. Laz Diaz behind the plate. The crew chief, Jeff Nelson, is at first. Pat Hoberg is at second, and Scott Berry is at third. Told you about the wind, and it's going to be shifting as it usually does, but it will make it a very lively ballpark. The temperature and the humidity will combine so the power hitters can hit the baseball for a long way if they can make some contact. Adam Dunn was traded to the Oakland Athletics, and there you see the numbers with the White Sox. They weren't quite as strong as Adam would have liked it, but Billy Beane, after trading Yoenis Cespedes, found out that he's got no offense, and he's hoping that Adam Dunn can get the deal done for him. And Adam will hit the middle of that lineup, playing a contender. He's never been to the playoffs. Maybe it's his opportunity to do that. So we're ready to play baseball, and I'm ready to turn it over to my play-by-play partner, Ken Harrelson.
All right, Steve, thank you. And once again, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to White Sox baseball right here on Comcast Sportsnet. So happy you could join us for the finale of this 4-game set and this homestand. Rajai Davis steps in, hitting at 285, 7 homers, 44 knocked in, and the first pitch of the ball game from our 25-year-old southpaw. Taken for a strike. Detroit comes in hitting at 274 as a team with a 4.06 ERA. They are 39 and 31 on the road, 35 and 30 at home.
They're the #1 hitting team in the American League, although Miguel Cabrera not in the lineup today.
I talked to Miguel this morning, and he said it's really sore.
Well, you can see it in this series. I mean, he wasn't himself.
The more I see this guy, the more I respect him. He wants to play. He doesn't want to come out of there. But when you can't walk without it hurting, you can't play. It hurts the team, really.
After having seen him at third base on 2 bad ankles, you know he wants to play.
Oh, sure. That, to me, that validated everything that I thought about him right there. 2-2 the count. Davis 3 for 7 in the series. And 9 for 23 lifetime off Quintana, so he's had some good success. Fouls that back, and this is the 16th meeting of the year between these two clubs. In the first 15, our Sox have won 7 of them.
And the fact that this series has been played to this point without a rain delay is somewhat miraculous.
Well, we talk about it all the time. Probably certainly one of the full count toughest cities in the world.
Predict weather?
Oh, sure.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, sure. I mean, it's just very tough. Payoff pitch. You don't want to walk this guy. And he pops him up. Andy Wilkins making his major league debut. Will get his first major league put out. One down. Andy, that young man you're looking at right there has got a chance to be. He's 25 years old, 6'2", 220 pounds. He got a chance to be some kind of hitter.
He had such a big year that you look at the numbers and you have to figure 30 home runs, 85 driven in.
Well, he was healthy for the first time for the most part. He was hurt earlier in the season, but he's been hurt every season.
Hopefully he can stay together because a left-handed power bat is pretty desirable these days, especially on this club.
I'll tell you who he's a lot like in his swing. Robin Ventura. Got a lot of Robin Ventura's swing in his. So here's Kinsler. He's 5 for 12 with a homer and 6 RBIs in this series. So he's doing his thing. That's down to Gillespie. And 2 down.
If Jose is pitching well, that means that he's getting his cutter into the right-handers, and it also means that both Conor Gillespie and Leury Garcia will have very busy days on the left side of the infield.
There's Torrey Hunter hitting at 280, 15 homers, 73 knocked in. Having a good solid season for the Tigers. He's still got a lot of baseball left in him. He is a young 37. Not in terms of experience, because he's got plenty of that, but in terms of body language, the way he plays the game. He made a catch yesterday. It was just sensational out there.
Also appears to have a very good time doing it.
Oh, he loves it.
Which is
for a club.
It's the key to longevity if your body holds together.
Sure. It's great for a club.
It's a pretty good pitch, and he didn't get it. I think Jose was a bit surprised. Our Menard's pitch track will show you that this one shows up in the zone.
Well, we saw a game last night that was almost absolutely just impeccable. Umpired by Pat Hoberg. That's one of the best games we've seen in a long, long time. I'm not just talking about this year, but I'm talking about in a long time.
He's out at second base today, and there were no arguments. I mean, very few guys look back. Maybe a pitch or two, but that's certainly to be expected. But he did a whale of a job.
Up the middle. Takes a nice little off on Woods. Low throw. So Torrey is aboard.
This is going to be an interesting scoring decision, only in that Leury was going away from the throw
hard
and had to try to make it. I mean,
he's got base hit.
Yeah, I mean, he's got speed going to the first base side of second. Wilkins can't corral it. Does go as a base hit.
That's a good call. So here is the man. This is the one guy in this lineup today, with Miguel Cabrera being out there. You just can't let it beat you.
No, and a lot of pressure falls to Victor because of the absence of Cabrera, and he's been immune to pressure. 362 from the right side.
Hangs back, tags the bag, and it'll retire the side. So a nice inning for Quintana. After a half inning of play, it's the Tigers nothing, and the good guys coming to bat.
our Sox today. Adam Eaton leading it off, and Carlos Sanchez in the 2 spot, with Ramirez getting the day off. Jose Abreu, who's had a wonderful series. Avisail Garcia, Connor Gillespie, Dan Viciedo, Andy Wilkins in his Major League debut, Tyler Flowers behind the plate, and Leury Garcia rounding it out. The defense and how they'll set up behind Rick Porcello. It's Martinez, Davis, and Hunter in the outfield with Castellanos, Suarez, Kinsler, and Kelly in the infield. Ryan Holiday gets the duty behind the plate. And our Lexus pursuing perfection starting pitcher is Rick Porcello, on for his 26th start. 15-8. Tied for the team lead in wins. ERA a fine 3.06. He is a sinker baller. And this is his 6th year in the major leagues. And he came up a very young man. And has never failed to win in double digits. So he keeps getting better, and he's still got his prime years ahead of him.
And before we show you our picks to click, you at home select yours. As here's Adam Eaton hitting at .311, a homer. He's driven in 33. He is 6 for 11 in this series. He's our catalyst. He's our energy guy.
And when he does get on, which he does quite frequently, especially since the All-Star break, he has a tendency to score.
Left field, pretty hit pretty well. And he drops the ball. J.D. Martinez.
Well, that shows you the wind, because that ball wasn't hit all that well and just kept on going back. It looked like Martinez had a good shot at it. Going to go as a 2-base hit. He just puts the glove up and misses it.
So here is Sanchez. Carlos with a job to do. He's 3 for 12 in the series, hitting at .268. Sox hitting at .256 is a team with a 4.41 ERA. Sox 33 and 36 here at home.
I know you're thinking about maybe beating this out, but if you're going to bunt to third, he's going to throw you out. And it's best to stay around instead of making it look like a drag bunt, because if you stay around, get the bunt down, you're not going to drop the head of the bat, and you'll bunt it pretty well.
Very quickly, 0-2. Abreu on deck. Got him. 1 out. So 1 out, 1 on. Let's check out our picks to click. Command you, our director and crew. That was Connor. Steve's going with Javi Garcia, J.J. Shearer, and all the great folks at Ditka's Restaurants. All 5 of them around the country. We're going to go with Andy Wilkins making his Major League debut today. Here's Jose hitting at .321, 33 homers, 98 knocked in. He's 7 for 9 in this series, and he's on an 11-game hitting streak. Very seldom does Rick Porcello throw anything straight.
No, he's not overwhelming with the fastball, never has been. That's why he doesn't strike out a whole lot of people. But that sinker, and now the 2-seamer that he runs into the right-handers, they got good late movement.
Count evens at 1.
During the streak, all Jose has done is hit .526. 5 extra base hits, 9 runs driven in, and 7 scored. Still not entirely 100%, but there's very few guys who have played a lot at this time of year that are exactly 100%.
Knocked down. Good play by Kelly to save a run.
Their all-purpose player, Don Kelly, was well off the line. Able to move quickly to his left. Couldn't corral it at first, but finally did.
So here's Avi. Garcia, 222 for homers, 14 knocked in. He's 2 for 11 in this series with an RBI. Now, Avi has faced his former teammate Porcello 10 times, and he has 5 hits. Souvenir right side. Sox with an off day tomorrow, then tomorrow evening hit the road for Target Field in Minneapolis.
And Joe Mauer back in the lineup.
Yeah, that's been real dangerous for him lately too. Also, I should say, is Vargas. That youngster.
Well, I mean,
strong.
when we saw him, first of all, he looks like a house.
Whew.
And can hit the ball with power from both sides of the plate. That's a real big addition to that team.
Yeah, he's taking himself out of that suspect category.
Yeah, he looks like he's going to be. Looks like he's going to be around a bit. Now the league's going to make their adjustments, but he's really strong.
Two-one pitch. Brian Holiday with a fairly easy stop. And stop indeed. 3-1. Gillespie on deck. Outfield. Shading Avi around to the right. Big gap out there in left center. And here at the ballpark, 330 down the left field line, 335 down the right field line. 375 in the gaps, then 400 straight away center.
That was a real good pitch in that it was off the plate, moving inside. I was able to throw it by him.
And that's ball 4. The runners at the corners. With 2 down, here is Gillespie. Hitting at 298, 6 homers, 48 driven. And he's due. He is 0 for 8 in this series. And once again, in case you're just tuning in, Adam Dunn has been traded to Oakland for a minor league pitcher who is a reliever. And we're going to miss Adam as a person. Certainly his performance here was something that he wished had been better. But as a person and in that clubhouse, you can't beat him. You might tie him, but you're not going to beat him. He is a wonderful, wonderful man with a wonderful family. And we wish him nothing but the best.
There's one thing about Adam Dunn's career. He was in Cincinnati with the Diamondbacks, with the Nationals. And I doubt if you can find one teammate who didn't like him or one teammate who has a bad word to say about him.
You won't.
He's a terrific guy. Very, very good, very calm.
The ball hit sharply by. One into left field. So Adam Eaton, when he gets on the base, he has a habit, a good habit of crossing home plate. And Gillespie was due, and he paid that one in dividends.
RBI number 49, and it looked for a minute like Suarez was able to knock it down. He couldn't. And Porcello and the Tigers down a run.
Well, getting back to Adam for a moment. In the off day we had at Houston, we went out to his golf club to play golf. Well, you can really also find out about how the guy is away when you're not around him. is talking to some of the caddies out there and some of the people who work at the golf course. They absolutely adore him. Absolutely adore him. Thank down ball. Bobble. Oh, no.
He's safe at first.
He's
second.
safe. He's safe out there at second base.
Robin's going to argue this one. I think he's going to come up right with this argument. I don't think they should leave the field just yet. And
Porcello,
he just beat the play.
Porcello just goes right back to the mound. He knows he was safe.
Although Pat Hoberg is shielding it, we're going to take a look from this angle. And he's in before the toss. So we got the thumbs up from Joe McEwing. And now they're meeting down the left field line. Not a good defensive inning for these Tigers.
So we will wait until they make the ruling.
Take a look, slow it down. Okay, foot's in, ball not in the glove.
Yeah, that's definitive.
Now, I was going to say, now if that's not definitive,
Right.
then we will almost have a perfect season.
Oh, forever how many?
Whatever it is. Robin's got to win this one.
Well, they have the decision.
And if
Safe.
he is safe, that's got to be error number 9 on Suarez.
So that'll be an error, yes, on Suarez. So FCL will score on the play. It's 2-0. And here comes Andy Wilkins in his first major league at bat. Andy, Charlotte, was hitting .293, 30 homers, and 85 knocked in. He had also 38 doubles. And you've heard me, being Sox fans, talk about this young man for the last 3 years. If he is healthy, he has got a chance to be a real producer at the major league level. In the dirt. Out of the University of Arkansas.
You never know if it's going to work, but I like the fact that their pitching coach, Jeff Jones, went out to the mound to talk with Porcello after what looked to be the third out, realizing that the defense has let him down. He should throw a shutout inning. It's not going to be that way.
Pulls the string on him, changeup, had him way out in front, letting that adrenaline work against Andy.
There are the minor league totals. This year, he started to come of age.
Well, you know, in all my years in this game, one of the real joys that I still have, watching youngsters make their major league debut. We saw 2 of them in the game last night.
That was great. It really was.
It really.
And they bring their parents in, which was wonderful. And it's just, you know, it's a special day. They never forget.
Well, it's something they've been working for their whole life.
Yeah.
One of the funniest I've ever seen was when Dick Green, who was a great second baseman for the Oakland Athletics, made his debut in Yankee Stadium. first at bat, he doubled. I believe it was off Whitey Ford. He doubled. He calls timeout, has to run back into the dugout. He had to go change his pants. So he gets Wilkins, but we get a pair. After one, it is 2-0 Sox. Let's go down to our lovely Jen Lotta.
Well, hey there, guys. I think it says a lot about Rick Hahn's respect for Adam Dunn, who, of course, was traded earlier today, that he spoke to him last night about the potential trade. We caught up with the manager this morning who said, when you look at the body of work from Adam Dunn, there are two ways of looking at it, on the field and off.
He and I discussed it, last night and this morning, that obviously we were both disappointed that we didn't accomplish on the field what we had hoped when the deal was originally signed 4 years ago. He was brought here as part of a plan to help us win championships in that window, and it didn't happen. So from that standpoint, I think we're all disappointed. From the off-the-field standpoint or the clubhouse standpoint, he was outstanding.
And that is a sentiment echoed by many of the players in the clubhouse. Paul Konerko telling us today the fact that he never backed down and played every time he could play. At the end of the day, that's all that matters to his now former teammates. Guys, back up to you.
All right, Jen, thank you. Well, we discussed it last inning. We'll never hear a bad word from anybody about Adam Dunn. The 0-1 pitch. In fact, I was talking with Stan Kasten a couple of years ago, a few years ago, 3 years ago, as a matter of fact, out in L.A. And Stan said he is his all-time favorite guy. As Leary throws out Martinez, one down.
Well, Stan was the man that led the Washington national team, took it from inception, got it to where they were on solid ground, both financially and certainly competitively. And Stan has a habit of going someplace and doing that.
Yes, he does. He's got a track record. He's like a thoroughbred. You can chart him.
You drop him in someplace, and don't be surprised if that team doesn't get real good.
That's it. Castellanos hitting at .262, 10 homers, 57 knocked in, 2 for 9 in this series with an RBI.
This is really the way you like to see Quintana work. He's working quickly. when he's working quickly, he usually works well. Lately, he's been slowing things down, especially from the stretch, and it hasn't worked out for him.
And that ball hit hard. But we got a man there.
There is a look at the big man missing from the lineup. And historically, in the major leagues, when he's missing from the lineup, he is really hurt.
Yeah. Again, he's a thoroughbred. You got a lot of claimers, not a whole bunch of thoroughbreds.
He was one of the guys that you just don't mind giving that long-term deal, because you're going to get everything he's got on a daily basis, and it doesn't matter if he's playing for 10 cents or 100 million. He's still going to give you the same effort.
Yeah, that's that George Brett, Robbie Nant mold, Cal Ripken Jr. mold. They're going to play us hard. $5,000 a year. They will for $5 million. They're going to give you everything they got.
Since he put on a Detroit uniform in 2008, 160 games, 160, 150, 161, 161, and 148. He plays a lot.
There's a strike. Kelly. 2 out, 3 and 1 to count. Kelly hitting at .262. And a walk. I hate it when great players have to sit out. The game is built on great players. This is where baseball's foundation is. First of all, great players, great rivalries, and great tradition.
Well, for the fans of any ball club, you come to the ballpark on a given day, you don't know the lineup. You come on a given day hoping you're going to see best players on the ball club. For the Sox, you want to see Alexi, you want to see Adam Eaton, you certainly want to see Jose Abreu.
And for years, Paul Konerko.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you come out to see the stars of the team, and when they're not in there, and mostly they're not in there because they've gotten hurt, fan doesn't know that, and it's not the same day. I mean, it's a good day, always a good day at the ballpark, but not the same day.
2-0 to count. Well, the last 2 nights, my wife and I have spent the night here because of the doubleheader yesterday, and then the day game today after that doubleheader. And that's where the Tigers stay at the Westin, which is a terrific hotel. Peter Simoncelli and his staff do a great job. And for all you people who are coming into town to watch a ball game, you might want to think about staying at the Westin down on Michigan Avenue. There's a little comebacker. And that'll retire the side after an inning and a half. 2-0 Sox.
We'll look forward to Miller time later in the game, brought to you by Miller Lite.
And our Sox would like to welcome Chicago Bulls fans to the ballpark for the game on Saturday, September 13th. In addition to specially priced tickets, fans will receive a special White Sox Bulls hat. And we'll also have the opportunity to participate in a pregame fan fest and parade. So for tickets, visit whitesox.com/Chicago Bulls. As here is Tyler Flowers, to be followed by Leury Garcia, then back to the top of the order with Adam Eaton. But the point I was making about the Westin is that it's where most of the teams stay when they come to town, because the service is just so good and the food is just terrific. I don't know how many, but I'm going to say there were not a lot, probably at least 100, maybe 150 Tiger fans staying there. They travel well, and one of the reasons being is because of Miguel Cabrera.
Not surprising. I mean, they've had a good team for quite some time.
Yeah.
And this is a pretty quick trip.
Boy, they were all, I mean, in the lobby, in the restaurants, in the elevators, I mean, all over the place. That is into right field off the end of the bat. Balls. Torrey did not get a good read on that one.
This one was up for a while. Opposite field. Well, left the bat looked like Torrey would have play on it. He didn't.
I think, you know, some of the outfielders we've seen for the past few years have not gotten quite, I mean, really outstanding outfielders like a Torrey. With that maple bat, it's hard to read that sound after reading and playing, you know, reading the ash and the sound of the ash bat for so many years. They're going to go to second base. So Leury, the bunt out in front, Brian Holiday all over it. One out.
Holiday gets out quickly, but the bunt is way too close to him. Making an easy play, but no chance for the double play.
And I've talked to a lot of announcers, veteran announcers, who are having the same problem with the sound coming off that maple bat versus the ash.
Well, it's probably twice as loud.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a strike, says Vaz Diaz, right on the outside edge of the outside corner. Adam doubled to start off last inning and scored his 22nd two-bagger. Leury should be running somewhere in wrong in here. He's 11 for 12 in stolen bases. The only problem is if Porcello gives Holiday a chance, he's proven to us he can get you.
You saw it on that throw. And Porcello consistent on throwing to first in this series. Both Verlander and Scherzer threw the ball away at first base, attempting pickoffs. They're both charged with errors.
And Leury has a decent lead. There you go. He wasn't going to throw him out on there. So that's a foul ball. The count 1-2. He has tremendous acceleration.
And despite the two throws to first base, he gets off in a hurry.
Sanchez on deck. Sox with 2 runs on 3 hits, no errors. Tigers, no runs, 1 hit and a big error. He fakes. 2-2. Attaboy, Adam. Don't let him dictate the tempo. Full count. Gap out there in right center field if he can find it. There he goes. And there's the base hit. So now they're going to have to hold him. And here goes Adam into second base. I'll tell you, is he fun to watch or what?
2 innings, 2 doubles.
I love to watch Adam Eaton play.
Well, you go over the arms of the outfielders before every series. And they know that Rajay Davis doesn't throw real well. So with Leary off to the races, that was Martinez who doesn't get the good throw in. But Adam's thinking about 2 right from the get-go.
That's what makes it so much fun.
Yeah, he's very aggressive, always looking for the extra base.
So here's Carlos, struck out on a curveball down and in as he takes first pitch strike. Ducks on the pond, 1 down.
They're in at the corners and back in the middle. Trying to stay out of the big inning with only 1 out.
That's off the glove. And everybody's going to be safe.
Mental error on Porcello. The run's going to score anyway. But Porcello was a spectator. And from the time you start in spring training, you are taught anytime the ball's hit to the right side, anytime you break the first base.
There'll be an error on Kelly. RBI for Sanchez. And it's a 3-0 game as Leary scores. And now runners at the corners, 1 down, and here is Abreu. Kelly made a good play saving a run at that time in the first inning on a hot shot by Abreu.
Tigers now have 89 errors this year. Cleveland leads the way in that dubious department with 103. Sox have 87. They came in tied with Detroit, but Detroit looks hot. They're going to pull away, it looks like. Jose has really enjoyed Tiger pitching to the tune of 439. 5 home runs, 12 driven in. And the runs in the doubles equally as impressive.
That's off the glove of Castellanos. So Eden scores. And it's a 4-0 game.
It's yet another error. And when you're a sinker baller, you've got to have your infielders make plays because you're going to throw lots of ground balls. So it is E5, but because he was back, it's going to be a run batted in, and that's going to be number 99.
Well, the first rule in baseball, as we have talked about for years, first rule is not pitching, it's not hitting, it's catch the ball. You've got to catch the ball. And here's obviously Hill. Don't stop now, boys. Chops that one foul.
Between the mental mistakes and the physical mistakes, Detroit having a real tough couple of innings.
That pitch is inside. Good eye, good take.
On Menard's pitch tracks, this ball is down and out of the zone. As Diaz has shown today, he's not going to give that low strike, although that one wasn't a strike. But he's not going to call it down there. He will call it up a little higher in the zone, however.
That's into short center field. It's going to fall. So Abreu in the second, and it's a 5-0 game. Ducks north. You'll take it.
RBI number 15. This ball up and on the inner portion, and that's going to bring Jeff Jones out once again. And a lot of times, I know Porcello won't say it, but a lot of times in a situation just like this, and Porcello also has contributed by not covering first base, but pitching coach comes out and you usually think, why don't you bring the fielding coach with you?
Well, most of the time when a pitching coach that I've seen when I was playing first base, he just look at Porcello and smile.
There's nothing you can do.
That's what he would do. You just look at him, smile, maybe ask him something off the wall, out of the box,
and walk back,
and turn around, and walk back, and that said it all to the pitcher.
Five-zip, huge early lead, and what for Detroit, like all the rest of the way, is a critical game. Mark Parent talking with Carlos.
Gillespie 1 for 1, an RBI single last inning. And this next pitch will be number 49 here in an inning and 2/3.
Conor Gillespie, over the course of his career, hitting a robust .472 against Rick Porcello. So he has loved what he's seen of him.
In for 21. Good breaking ball right there. The old disappearing breaking ball, and that's out number 2.
Well, Porcello gets him out about 50% of the time. And this is the half of it. Shaky defense has cost him a great many of those 50 pitches he's thrown already.
And that's foul. Night game at Common Stadium and a big game. Indians taking on Kansas City. T.J. House, southpaw against Danny Duffy. Danny Duffy, 8-11, but he's got a 2.47. When he is right, he is a beast out there on that mound.
Yeah, try playing good baseball.
As he gets him, but we get a lot of breaks and we take advantage of it. We'll go to the third leading 5-0.
Abreu 4-pack. Each pack includes 4 upper box game tickets, 4 hot dog value meals, and a parking pass. Abreu 4-packs are available now for all remaining Monday through Thursday games. Visit whitesox.com/Abreu to order yours today. Ryan Holiday to lead it off, hitting .240. He is yet to homer. He's driven in 12. Played well behind the plate. And his Tigers looking up at a 5-0 deficit early in this one. That one misses away, and the reason why Connor Gillespie is in close at third is Holiday has bunted successfully against our ball club. And the count evens at 1-1. Toronto is leading the Yankees 4-3. That's in the bottom of the 7th in Toronto. Yankees starting to fall out of it. And the count goes to 1-2. Yankees 8 games behind Baltimore coming in. It's actually a miracle with the injuries they've had. They've been able to stay close. They are 3.5 games out of the wild card, however. Just missing down and in with a breaking ball. So the count evens at 2. Outfield straight away, as is the infield. Pops that ball up. Adam Eaton right there to make the catch. We talked about the Central, and it's a flat foot tie between the Tigers and Royals coming into action today. Indians, we talked about them playing good baseball. Winners of 7 of their last 10. They're 3.5 back. Our Sox and then the Twins rounding it out. And Terry Francona has the Indians starting to believe. And they believe they can catch him and perhaps win the division.
Well, that's managing. It's not X's and O's. Terry knows what he's doing as far as getting his guys ready for that particular game, that particular pitcher, that particular day. But still, Mike Mayer, one of our home cameramen here, had the greatest line the other day, as I mentioned it last night.
Yep.
He said, wait till September 1st and Terry Francona gets 5 more relievers in that pen.
It's amazing.
No, Terry, he's done a wonderful job. He's resurrected that ball club mentally.
And I also believe, along with Terry, well, look, it's Chris Antonetti, Mark Shapiro, who decided to bring in Terry. I thought it was a no-brainer at the time because obviously he was the best that was out there available. But they've also done a nice job of getting him some players and rebuilding that bullpen and been able to give him guys that he can count on late, because that Cleveland bullpen now is very tough.
Well, the best move Antonetti has made has been hiring Terry Francona.
Yep. That ball down the line, and it's just foul. Kinsler has a tendency to do this. He gets out front of a whole lot, and fortunately this ball hooking doesn't miss by much, just enough. And that young man, unfortunately, not able to get the handle.
Managing today is tougher than it's ever been. In the past, managers really, they had all the hammers, they all had all the leverage, and they had biggest hammer was being able to get guys and send them to AAA. As that's left side, takes a nice little bowling brook bounce, and that's a nice inning for Quintana. 1-2-3, and he leads it 5-0.
Twin Cities, and awaiting them will be the Twins. It's It's White Sox Twins, Tuesday at 7, only on Comcast Sportsnet.
We're talking about the managing today. It's so much tougher than it's ever been. Everything in baseball today is tougher than it's ever been. But one of the biggest reasons that managing is because of the parity. You know, it used to be when the parity was not like it is today. You go and you play a last place team, 4-game series, and you're really disappointed if you didn't come out there with 3. Really disappointed. It's always been tough to sweep a 4-game set, but today you got to get in their heads. They don't have that hammer of the minor leagues. There's no fear factor for players because most of them are, multi-year contracts.
Multi-year big money contracts. Big
money contracts. So that's where Terry excels, as do all the good managers today. They get in the heads of the players. We got, as we talked about, we got people in this ballpark right here who can manage X's and O's wise a major league game as well as most managers, but they can't get into the heads of the players. That's the yank foul. Andy Wilkins in his second major league at bat. His first one struck out. 30 homers. 85 knocked in down in Charlotte this year. You don't hit 30 homers in the minor leagues in AAA at the age of 25 unless you got a chance. Count hangs at 1-2. Breaking ball, took a little something off. Five strikeouts now.
He's thrown a pretty good curveball today, and this was a guy, when he came up, was a sinker slider pitcher. So that breaking ball is a little tighter than it has been. And that one was one of his best.
Bottom of the 5th in Baltimore. Orioles leading Minnesota 4-2. Baltimore 78-56, 22 games over. Torrey Hunter. Another big game out at the Big A in Anaheim. Angels, well, that series out there, the Angels have now won 5 in a row and have a 4-game lead. But if you're just tuning in, did not hear, Adam Dunn will be a member of that Oakland Athletic Ball Club.
Good matchup out there. It's Kazmir, 14-6 against Schumacher. He's thrown the ball real well. He's 13-4.
And there's a base hit by Leary. So good speed aboard with Adam Eaton at the plate, who was 2 for 2 with 2 doubles, 2 runs scored. And Leary will be running. Two good teams, Angels and Oakland. Two outstanding managers. Wow. There he goes. That ball hit hard. Way back. Torrey, he's there. Another terrific catch. Wow. Didn't think he could get to that one. Another terrific catch off the bat of Adam Eaton by Torrey Hunter.
White Sox fan photo for a chance to have it shown on our broadcast later in the game, and as usual, it's brought to you by AT&T.
Fourth inning, 5-6-0 for us, 0-1 and a big 3, a huge 3 for them. So it'll be Torrey Hunter as the only hit for Detroit. Just joining us, Miguel Cabrera is not in that lineup. And boy, I'll tell you what, Stevie, if you just look at this lineup that the Tigers run out there today, without Miguel Cabrera, it's just a very, very ordinary looking ball club.
Well, it's a good lineup. It certainly isn't a great lineup, and
they got some good players.
Yeah, I mean, although you tell yourself, look, I mean, there's our big boys on the bench, no doubt about it. So let's go out, let's give them the best we can. It's just not the same.
Oh, no.
And it's not the same for the pitcher who's starting against him when he looks at the starting lineup and doesn't see Cabrera in it.
Well, in this lineup here, you just, as we talked about, you just got to stay away from Victor. Yeah. That's all. In a close ball game, you just don't let Victor beat you. And that way, you got, as I mentioned, you just got an ordinary lineup right there. Not going to scare anybody.
But Victor, in key situations, is as good as it gets and has been for quite some time.
Since he's come into the league. This guy at the plate's not afraid of knocking a big run either.
I think they would love to re-sign Torrey Hunter. The question is, Torrey's age and the amount of years he has, is he going to want a big multi-year deal?
There's a lot that goes into a contract when you know what you're getting. You don't have to hope or think or guess what you're getting.
Well, I mean, as I say, also, when you let a guy go and think about what he brought the entire package, and then think about what it's going to cost you to replace him, that same entire package, if you can.
Now, Dombrowski's made some good moves.
He has. He ate a whole lot of money in Dontrell Willis because he wanted Miguel Cabrera.
That's the cheapest money he'll ever eat.
It's absolutely worked out pretty well for him.
Payoff. Another foul. No, eating that money was just an insurance policy to make sure you could get Miguel Cabrera.
Well, there's a whole lot of trades done the same way. If you want this guy, you have to take this guy. And then they get out from under a contract they don't want. You get the guy you want, but it costs you a few extra bucks. A lot of extra bucks.
There's a shot base hit, so Torrey is 2 for 2.
And he's got the only 2. Good at bat by Hunter. He usually has very good at bats. And this one right down the middle, he takes advantage of it.
Here's Victor. Grounded out to Sanchez at second, who stepped on the bag and forced Torrey Hunter.
Pretty good numbers career-wise against Quintana.
There's a strike. And right next to us in the booth during the game today, there's one of baseball's icons, Cal Ripken Jr. He's working with Brian Anderson, who's a terrific young announcer. They're doing the game for TBS. TBS, yeah, in the background there.
Talked to Cal before the ball game, and he said they got the best gig around. They give me 4 or 5 games, and then I get to do the playoffs. He said it's pretty good. I said, you're not kidding.
Well, he deserves anything and everything. I'll tell you what he did for baseball. He was one of the guys that saved the game.
Just a great, great player. Wow.
He was actually, as that's going to be back in the season, he was actually one of the luckiest guys I've ever seen on a baseball field, because it seems like every time a ball was hit, it was hit right at it. Only because he was one of the smartest players that ever played.
Not only could he position, but the Oriole pitchers could follow the game plan. They could actually hit the spots where the defense is designed.
Well, you can't do that unless you got the staff that can execute.
And Earl Weaver was the first guy, the Hall of Famer, the manager of the Orioles at the time, the first guy that took a big third baseman, he's a big man, and said, I think he can play shortstop. And he was one of the few who thought he could. Well, it turned into a Hall of Fame career. Earl, as usual, was right about his talent evaluation. And the interesting thing is, the night that I chose to retire, Cal Ripken started his streak. May 31st, 1982.
Well, there's a chopper. Double touch, but he's got plenty of time.
Foul ball.
It's foul? All right.
Last day is.
Well, I'll tell you what I remember. The most poignant memory I have of Cal Ripken Jr. was when he was a kid. Okay, 1983 in the playoffs. They had been throwing at a couple of our guys, and I think it was Richard Dotson on the bump for us. Cal came to the plate, and Dot just drilled him right in the back. And this has been going on for, a few innings. All of a sudden, Cal turned around and looked at Carlton Fisk, and he said, because I asked Carlton after the game what he said, all right, are we done with this yet? Can we play some baseball now? And he was a kid. He was a rookie turning around and said, okay, are we done with this? Can we play some baseball now? I don't think there's ever been a smarter player than Cal. He was well taught by his dad. And Billy knows. Billy also knew the game very well. He just didn't have the talent, obviously, with Cal.
Billy is Cal's brother. He played in the major leagues. At least he got there. A whole lot of people would have loved to get there just for one game. Just one.
Great baseball family. Outfield straight up, spaced about equidistant. Two and two. And that's a souvenir right side.
That was 30 seconds in between pitches.
He's a different guy from the stretch than he is from the windup.
It's a way to get yourself in trouble. When you have good rhythm and you have good stuff, good control on a given day, and you slow it down that much in the stretch, you're just asking to get hit.
Well, he's just a different pitcher. He has a lot more problems out of the stretch than he does from the windup. Tried to get in. He did, but well, smoked hard foul.
That was 34 seconds, and Victor Martinez hanging tough as he always does. 468 at bats, 39 strikeouts. That's it.
Torrey Hunter just a decent lead. Down ball. Take your time, boys. You got plenty. You had plenty of time with Victor running. So it's a bad feed. They do get Victor.
That flip stopped the double play. It was well wide of the bag.
That's just a mental mistake there.
Carlos did a tremendous job catching it bare hand and getting the throw off to get him at first base.
That's just bad thinking. Had plenty of time, make that play, which he did. It's a good play to catch the ball. But once you do, you can stop, give him a good feed, and turn it over. It's not like he had Rajay Davis going down the line.
No.
Martinez grounded out to Leury. Takes a strike. .26 years old, very, very strong. J.D. Martinez, 17 homers, 59 driven in since being called up. Took something off, change up.
think Martinez is asking if I swung, or are you calling that a strike? Because it was out of the zone.
I love Lazo. Is he going to miss? I'm sure. But I'll tell you, he can give you a good day's work, good effort. Broken bat. That's trouble. No. Good play. Now they're going to double him up. Torrey read it to fall in. It did not. Good play by Adam, and that'll retire the side. So we catch another break and go to the bottom of the fourth, still leading 5-0. As our Sox take on the Twins. First 20,000 fans ages 21 and over will receive a White Sox Irish flat cap, which is really nice. That's presented by all the great folks at Miller Lite. Also enjoy our post-game fireworks presented by Miller Lite. It's just not a good time. It's not just a good time. It's Miller time. Miller Lite, official beer of your Chicago White Sox. Here's Sanchez, 0 for 2 with an RBI and a run scored. Porcello's defense has really hurt him. Three big errors. And if you missed last night, Chris Bassett made his major league debut for us, and I'll tell you what, the numbers won't show it when you read his line, but he pitched a heck of a lot better than those numbers show.
He did that.
He was impressive.
Good curveball. Very good curveball.
Yeah, you don't freeze Miguel Cabrera like you did unless it's a good curveball. Fun time of the year in baseball. Guys, especially in the wild cards, has made it that way. Guys contending for them. You got the September call-ups. Get a chance to see young players in your organization and from other organizations. I really enjoy September.
It's a whole lot better than August if you're having a bad year.
Oh, yeah. August for us has not been a good month.
No. Now, and there's some great races going on.
Castellanos.
In the AL Central, Detroit and Kansas City right there. Oakland trying to make a dent in the Angels. They're 4 games back. They've made a couple of trades. Washington's going to run away with it. That's not a race, but Milwaukee, St. Louis, and Pittsburgh in the NL Central, that's pretty good. And the Giants still only 2.5 back. Then you factor in the wild card and it expands even more.
Giants on a 5-game winning streak. Milwaukee on a 4-game losing streak.
Jake Peavy.
And there's a 12-game hitting streak for Jose. He's 1 for 2 with an RBI. That was RBI number 99 back in the 2nd inning.
Brings his hands in and gets that 2-seam fastball. Gets ahead of the bat on it. Dumps it into left field. Well, Jake Peavy flirting with a no-hitter last night. So, nice outing for Jake on the big stage in the middle of the pennant race. And that's why they got him, to pitch games like that.
Well, you know, we've traded 3 guys. Beckham, Piazza, and now Dunn. All 3 of those guys are going to be in postseason play. There's a strike to Garcia. Javi has walked, scored, and has an RBI single. And all 3 of those guys that we really wish the best for. That's chop foul. Angels on a 5-game winning streak. Oakland a 3-game losing streak. Seattle a 3-game losing streak. Seattle 10 over at 72 and 62.
Well, the division title is going to elude them, but they're knocking at the door of the wild card race.
And kudos to Lloyd McClendon.
Did a great job out there.
And Jack Sorensen.
And Jack was given a multi-year extension. Well deserved, as he's got that Seattle ball club 72 and 62.
Porcel bare hands it and throws him out. Nice play. 2 down.
Not the recommended way to do it, but turns out to be effective.
There's Gillespie's 1 for 2 with an RBI. Picked up his first hit in the series in the 1st inning.
Pretty good number for Connor Gillespie. Tough time to hit 2 outs and runners in scoring position. He's hitting .349.
That's the hang Wolfen. A rocket right to him, and we'll go to the 5th. Score 5, which we have today, or more runs, you get 50% off your entire online order tomorrow at papajohns.com with the Sox 5 promo code. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's. Castellanos is lined hard. Adam Eaton in center field. Made a nice catch on him. A big White Sox shout out and congratulations to one of our terrific producers here at Comcast Sportsnet, Todd Benjaminson and his wife Kristen, on the birth of their daughter Kira yesterday. 2 boys and a girl now. He just smokes that one down the line, so he started off with a single.
Castellanos has always used the whole field. Mostly hits the ball hardest to right and right center field, and this right down the line. Nice job by Avisail, because they were shaded that way, to hold them to a single.
Well, every time I see any highlights of Castellanos, or if I'm watching the Tigers on my iPad, every time he hits the ball well, you're right, it's to right center.
That's it at this point. Now he's a young hitter, and he'll get to the point where he can pull the ball, but not quite yet, not consistently anyway.
Kelly can't get it. He drew a walk, only walk issue by Quintana back in the 2nd inning.
Is it a mechanical change, something he tweaks in his approach? What is it that takes a young hitter who's an off-field hitter, opposite field hitter, and gets him to be able to pull the ball?
It's a combination. But the thing you want to do, you know, from a scouting standpoint, is if you got 2 strong right-handed hitters, and one of them hits the ball very hard and deep to right center, and the other strong right-handed hitter is a pull hitter, you want to go with the guy who hits the ball to right center, because it's easier to learn how to pull than it is how to go the other way. And when you get, it boils down to actually the left arm from a mechanical standpoint. From the elbow down, you take the forearm and the hand. The more that forearm and that hand goes towards a pitcher, the bigger the swing. Consequently, as that's popped up, Andy Wilkins will make the play for out number 1. Now picture this. From the elbow to the end of the fingers on your left arm, if you're a right-handed hitter, the more that the back of that palm goes towards the pitcher, the bigger the swing is going to be, and the more you'll hit the ball to right center. After a while, when you play, you learn how to take that forearm in that hand, and you let the forearm get outside the elbow,
so that the back of your hand's actually facing between shortstop and third.
Exactly. Okay. And that brings you to the short arms. That's one thing that I'm just anxious that Todd Stevenson, who's done such a terrific job with some of our young hitters, and we're starting now to really buy into it. First of all, they have to buy into it before they'll try it. But I'm so anxious to see, obviously, El Garcia, when he learns how, like Abreu can hit with short arms, Avi's going to be a monster. Because now, if you recall a pitch that was in on him, that good 2-seamer that Porcello threw earlier, that was a long arm swing. Where that same pitch thrown to Abreu, he can shorten it up
and single the left field,
and kill it
like he just did.
Yeah. Avi will learn, though. He's just 22 years old. You know, we're talking about some youngsters. This is going to be a terrific, exciting ball club for 5 or 6, 7 years now.
I've seen a lot of young right-hand hitters who hit the ball to the opposite field, who eventually became prolific home run hitters by pulling the ball. But I haven't seen the opposite. I haven't seen many guys who come in as a dead pull hitter then be able to hit the ball consistently to right center.
That's foul, and you won't. Well, that's not fair to say. There are always exceptions to every rule, but chances are you won't.
There was one guy, it was years ago, had a good but not a great career. Eventually wending his way around baseball, but there was a guy by the name of Jay Bell. And he came up as a dead pull hitter. Amazingly, then turned around his career, became a great bunter and a great hit and run man and a great guy to hit the ball to right and right center. But you just don't find many.
Well, the shoulder from a mechanical standpoint, the shoulders have a lot to do with it too. The more active your shoulders are, the less chance you're going to have to hit with short arms. And he gone. That is the first strikeout for Quintana.
Well, this is one of the few times where he's gone well up and thrown it by him. Our Honda pitch tracks will show you that's the extreme top of the strike zone. But right or left-handers, you just don't catch up to the ball much up there.
If you recall, one of the greatest hitters we've ever seen in this game, Alex Rodriguez, when he first came up. Right, center. Ryan Holiday popped up to Adam Eaton in center. And you can actually change. Once you get past the mechanics of it, which you got to do in a hurry because they're a killer. You can actually change the plane of your swing by where you position yourself in the batter's box. That batter's box is yours. You can go anywhere in that batter's box you want to go.
You just don't see it now.
You don't.
You do
and
not.
Cooperstown is full of guys who moved all over that batter's box. The ball hit hard. Oh, nice bounce. And that'll do it. Leadoff single by Castellanos. Then 1-2-3 he gets them. And we're halfway home leading 5-0. And if that's the way Adam feels, then God bless him. He's got a beautiful family, a wife, Rachel, 3 children. He's made a lot of money in his career. And I'll tell you what, the man can play some golf, so I guarantee he will fine-tune that golf game. If Adam Dunn goes out and shoots 67, 68 at you, don't be surprised. I'm talking about right now.
Well, I know he can hit it pretty well.
Plays right-handed.
Sounds like Phil Mickelson.
Yeah.
Right-hander doing everything except golf.
Carl Yastrzemski.
Plays left-handed.
Left-handed hitter, plays golf right-handed, that thief. One of the biggest sandbaggers in Florida. Popped up, and that's not going to be playable. But, you know, getting back to the batter's box, Joe Cronin, Hall of Fame shortstop and former president of the American League, finally got in my head, it turned the light switch on a little bit about what you can do to help yourself as far as creating your own strike zone with the movement you have in the batter's box. If you cannot hit, which some guys know, all guys can hit with short arms. If you can't do that, then you can stand off the plate. But then you have to, if you're a right-handed hitter, you have to beat guys to right field and right center. Tank can't get it. Now you can take a Frank Robinson, who stood right on top of the plate, who could hit really well with short arms, as evidenced by his numbers. He stood right there and he could do it. So he made you change. You being a breaking ball pitcher, Steve.
Yeah, he was quick enough. Now I had the fortune of facing him late in his career where he couldn't catch up to the ball inside, but during his heyday, you couldn't get inside on him.
No, you couldn't. You got to find out what fits you, what makes you more comfortable without thinking mechanics, and just position yourself in that batter's box to whereas you have a sense of control. High pop up. Tank now 0 for 3. And that'll bring up Andy Wilkins, who's 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts in his first 2 major league at bats. Hopefully the butterflies have subsided a little bit.
Pretty strong numbers in AAA at Charlotte this year.
Well, again, everything's predicated on how healthy he can be. If he stays healthy, he's going to be a major league hitter, and a good one. I mentioned he's got a lot of Robin Ventura in his swing. Robin, when he first joined us, you know, he played a little while, and then all of a sudden went into an 0 for 41 streak.
Well, let's hope he doesn't have that much of Robin in his swing.
No,
early.
exactly right. High stretch for him. Stretch for him. It won't. Right out there in front of the patio. He just missed his first major league home run. There's a major league pop-up on the track in right center field. Joe McEwing gets him a big pat on the fanny.
Well, the first contact shows you how strong he is. That was a fastball. It was up. You don't find many left-handers that hit fastballs at the top of the zone. It looked like the wind might have aided to knock that one back.
It did. Kept it in the park. That ball hit hard in the right center field by Tyler. They're not going to catch that one. That's going to be a double. That's 14th two-bagger for Tyler. Tyler now 2 for 3 in this game.
Takes that fastball, lines it off the wall, just missed going out of the ballpark. And the inning stays alive.
Ball hit sharply right to Kinsler. Well, the 2-out double goes for naught, and we'll go to the 6th, leading 5-0. Diamondbacks take on the Athletics for Military and First Responders Appreciation Day, presented by GovX. So for all current, former military, or first responders to get savings on tickets, gear, and more, visit whitesox.com/GovX. Top of the order here in the top of the sixth: Davis, Kinsler, and Hunter. Rajay is fouled out to Wilkins and grounded to second. First pitch strike. Texas trying to keep from going 30 games under 500. They lead Houston 2-1, bottom of the sixth, down at the juice box. 30 games under.
High draft pick.
Tough way to get it.
That's it. That's about what you got after suffering through a year like that.
Tough way to get it. That's fair ball right down the line. So the leadoff double. This is 25th double.
This ball on the outer portion of the plate. Could have rolled it out there any better.
Another big game in the Central tonight. Cleveland and Kansas City. TJ House against Danny Duffy.
House pitched against us here for Cleveland. Didn't throw the ball particularly well.
Last time we saw Danny Duffy, that's the last time I want to see him.
Now
we had no chance.
He was one of their absolute best prospects, who then hurt his arm in a game against us. Now has come back and resurrected what looked to be a very promising career.
There's a hanger, and it's a 5-1 ball game. The back-to-back doubles.
RBI number 76 for Ian Kinsler. This is just a rolling breaking ball, stays on the outer portion, and Kinsler takes it down the line. Overwhelming majority of his hits have come to left field.
.35 doubles for Ian. Go along with those 76 ribbies. 13 homers, 3 triples. High. You hear Adam yelling all the way up here. As it should be. And Avi Garcia really good. When he hears that center fielder, he just peels off.
Good thing for Adam.
Better believe it. That's a mismatch.
That's not a collision you want to get into.
Here's Victor. He's grounded sharply to second. That hit into a 6-4-3 double play. A 6-4-3 play, I should say. The guy was safe. second on a bad feed. Victor was out at first. Sox have turned 143 double plays this year. Baltimore hurting Minnesota 11-5. Top of the 7th at Oriole Park. Can't get that one. Nick Markakis 3 for 4 in that game. David Lowe 2 for 3. Adam Jones. Nelson Cruz hit his 35th. J.J. Hardy hit a grand slam. Caleb Joseph 3 for 4. Oh, what a nice surprise he's been. With Matt Wieters going down. He and Nick Hundley both.
They got a good system going there. Caleb Joseph, an excellent receiver, blocking pitches, got a cannon for an arm. And they got Hundley from San Diego, so it's been a good twosome. Tough to replace a Gold Glove catcher, however. But that's what they've done.
Full count.
Now on to pitch tracks, and this is one of the few low strikes that has been called today. It is a strike, good pitch.
And there's a base hit. It's going to be in the gap. So Victor will have to pull up. Strong arm Viciato as Kinsler scores him. It's a 5-2 ball game.
.88 driven in, and it will bring Don Cooper out from the dugout. That was a low fastball, and Victor, who is the key run producer in the absence of Cabrera, produces a run. Pretty good numbers to this point, as Jose has had only one 1-2-3 inning. That coming in the third. But he did face 3 men in the fourth. However, there was a base hit and a double play.
On the way to JD. Quick recovery by Tyler. JD has grounded to short, hit into that 8-4 double play. So the count 1-2.
Matt Lindstrom starting to loosen in the pen. First action of the day.
Big rip right there by Martinez. Bottom of the second at the Big A in Anaheim. No score as they host the Athletics. Halos have taken the first 3 games of that series. Souvenir right side.
The Astros released Martinez. Tigers signed him to a minor league deal at the end of March. They are ecstatic they did. He's been pretty good for them.
Five, 8-0 for our guys. 2-6 and a big 3 for their guys. And a full count. That one at 93. Fouls that one back. He's had a couple of good pitches to hit, so fortunately for us, he didn't square any up.
Well, 3 pitches in a sequence, pretty much in the middle of the zone.
He knew it. 2 down.
He just got outguessed because that was a fastball perfectly located on the outside corner. Good time for a big pitch.
And that's what this game is all about, making big pitches at the right time.
The winners do, and the other guys wind up in the pen or home.
Get their canceled checks. Castellanos lined hard to center. Then he singled hard to right. Takes that down low. Final from the Rogers Center. Blue Jays beat the Yankees 4-3. A.J. Happ 9-8 over McCarthy 8-14.
Adam McCarthy's been pretty good since putting on the Yankee pinstripes.
There's a strike. Toronto coming in 10.5 games back. Well, they started off like they were just going to walk off. I picked Toronto in that division. It's like they were going to walk off and run away and hide from everybody this year. Then the injuries came.
Coming into action today, McCarthy was 5-3 with an ERA right around 2.5. He was a losing pitcher today, but wasn't exactly shellacked.
went 6 innings, 5 hits, 4 runs, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts. Threw 3 home runs.
That'll
Ball's
usually
in the dirt. Heads up play by Victor.
Gonna go as a wild pitch. It was a nice play by Tyler Flowers, but couldn't get to it in time. Hit off his right elbow, then the body. Then it caromed away, and for Quintana, that is wild pitch number 7.
And that Toronto, Cabrera hit his 16th, and Encarnacion his 28th. Bautista hit his 29th. I believe it's 5
That's
games in a row.
5 games in a row. He's hit a home run. And unfortunately for Toronto, who was playing without Encarnacion for a long time, appears to be too little too late. But that lineup is loaded with thunder.
He go. They do pick up a pair. We go to the bottom of the 6th, leading 5-2.
Around Torrey Hunter. Adam Eaton crushes this ball, and Torrey Hunter makes a great play. So he robs Adam Eaton. And then this turns into a double play. Good play by Adam Eaton, who then goes to second and realizes that Torrey Hunter has made a terrible base running play and doubled up and out of the inning. So turnabout is fair play. And we move on.
Well, Adam still owes him one because Torrey made a terrific play on him last night. Taking another extra base hit away from him.
I didn't think at that age he could get to either of them. He got to both.
I'll tell you what, he's the youngest 37 in baseball. So Adam takes a breaking ball strike. 2 doubles, 2 runs scored. Now has 23 two-baggers, 8 triples. There's a chopper. Stays down, but a nice play. Suarez.
Now, for all you young pitchers out there, here's something you don't want to work on very much. Watch this warm-up pitch. Rick Porcello trying to throw a breaking ball, and, well, it's high and wide.
Oh, he's just trying to deceive the hitter.
That'll deceive him, okay. Might deceive the bad boy.
I did that in a game in Fenway, playing right field. as there's a base hit by Carlos. He's now 1 for 4 with an RBI and a run scored.
That was a fastball. Up thigh high. And rips it by Kelly at first. Might behoove our guys to come up with a couple more runs, even without Cabrera. This is a potent lineup, and bear in mind that Cabrera probably can pinch hit.
12-game hitting streak now as he singled his last time up. He is 1 for 3 with an RBI. That's RBI number 99. There's a breaking ball. And he just does get back in.
Well, the throw beat him. Carlos is going to be out. But Kelly, who had come off the bag, just couldn't get to the tag in time. Holiday does a nice job. Recognition, then throws it down there. But what you do in this situation, if you're a base runner, you go to the back part of the bag because it's longer to go on the tag. And as he gets the body, the hand is in.
Right field, can of corn for Torrey Hunter. 2 down. So here's Avi. He's 1 for 2. He walked and scored in the first, drove in a run in the second. Went out 1 to 3.
With both bullpens up and going, the Tigers have double-barreled action. Bill Koch and Evan Reed. Koch the left-hander, Reed the big right-hander.
Avi takes ball 1. Gillespie on deck. Garcia can reach.
A lot of hits so far, and all the damage done in the first 2 innings. A lot of it because of very porous defense.
There's a shot base hit. They won't get that one. So here comes Sanchez. He's motoring around. He's being waved around. He's going to score on the double by Avi, and it's a 6-2. Boy, that ball is absolutely killed. Man.
Second run batted in of the day, 16th overall. And this low fastball inside is rocketed into the gap.
That's one of those, as a hitter, you never feel a thing when you hit it. What are you shaking your head yes for? You never.
I wouldn't know. I was thinking I wouldn't know that feeling because my hands are still vibrating from the last time I hit in 1976.
You didn't lose any fingernails, did you?
No.
Here's Gillespie. He's 1 for 3 with an RBI. And that's in the center field. Avi is tagging. Meanwhile, that's out number 3.
He can tag, but the inning's over.
I don't know where he was going. Look at him. But we pick up 1. Go to the 7th, leading by 4. To be active and continue doing the things you love. So visit Athletico.com and start defining your pain-free inner athlete today. Athletico, the official physical therapy provider of our White Sox. Athletico, better for everybody. 6-2 good guys here in the top of the 7th inning. The lower third of their order, Kelly, Suarez, and Holiday.
And at the 102 pitch mark, the bullpen is up and going in case Jose has any problems with the lower part of the order.
Breaking ball strike. No, needless to say, it's become a battle of bullpens. That is the culture of today's game of baseball. Battle of bullpens.
I know one of the guys that we have ready is Zach Putnam, and he's been just outstanding.
Indeed he has.
Daniel Webb was very good in the second game of the doubleheader yesterday.
That was good to see.
Yeah, he had to be through 2 innings, gave just 1 hit.
He needed that. I mean, he needed that. Tank. One out. That'll bring up Suarez, who has gone back to Quintana and struck out.
Robin would dearly love for Jose to get through this 7th inning and leave him with 6 outs to cover. Figures to be able to do that. And after the long day yesterday, even with the off day tomorrow, be welcome.
That's trouble. No. He is all over the place.
He got a tremendous jump on that ball because it did look like trouble when it left the bat. And then he made the catch easily. And you can't, unless you're anticipating, you can't get there that quickly. But you can see in that picture that right with the crack of the bat, he came breaking straight in, no false steps, no movement to either side, just came and got it and made it easily.
Well, it's like Gordon Beckham. Even when he was not swinging the bat well, he did not take the pop up, the ground out, or the strikeout out to second base with him. The only way you can get a good jump is by being into the ball game. You know, it's 2 phases, offense and defense. And if you take that offense with you out to the defensive side, you cannot get a good jump. Comes in, makes his hop. That is a nice 1-2-3 inning. And 7th inning stretch, we lead at 6-2.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home sweet home. God bless America, my home sweet home.
Cubs rising star Anthony Rizzo follow his journey to overcome both personal and professional obstacles on his way to the bigs. Join David Kaplan for an exclusive one-on-one with the Major League All-Star. Inside Look, Anthony Rizzo, presented by Cadillac, premieres tomorrow night at 7 on Comcast Sportsnet.
Boy, he is a good-looking young player. He's
He's
got a
really,
great two-strike approach.
Really started to come of age. I mean, what he did was start to hit the left-handers, which he couldn't hit before. Pretty good. Choking up on the bat. You like that?
I love it. 2 strikes. I told you, if there's one thing I could do in my career, if I could go back, it'd be on 2 strikes. I'd choke up about 1.5 inches, 2 inches. You can hit the ball just as far.
And a little more control.
A little more control. So a 6-2 Sox lead here in the 7th. Dicieto, Wilkins, Flowers to face Porcello. When you look at the box score tomorrow, it's not going to look that good. Rick Porcello has not pitched poorly at all today. He's had to throw a lot of pitches, and he's actually kept them to a minimum with all the bad defense that he's had. As there is a breaking ball. He's just getting better and better.
No, it could very well be a tie game at this point.
Oh, sure.
If they caught the ball.
Yeah, bullet. Tank now 1 for 4. And then I'll bring up Wilkins, 0 for 3. But last time just missed his first major league home run in his 3rd at bat. A high, towering fly ball. Taking Torrey Hunter back on the track, and the wind knocked it down and kept it in the park.
And just activated today, Moises Sierra coming on to pinch run. So the day is done for Dicieto.
Well, it's good to see him because he brings a ton of energy to the ball game. High energy player, Moises Sierra. Sierra with a decent lead. There's first pitch strike.
Well, certainly the scouting reports preceded Andy Wilkins because they are in a shift. And these days we're seeing more shifting than ever.
So you just mystified me for the last 15, 20 years why they haven't. Ouch.
This one right off the right toe. It's a curveball. And Hermie's coming out to have a look at him.
I'm telling you, that does hurt.
Zach Putnam loosening in the pen. I would think in this, his first major league game, unless you're a candidate for amputation, he's not coming out of it.
Not with a backhoe. Couldn't get him out of there with a backhoe. Get out the paper clip.
Oh boy, that's awful.
Heat that paper clip up and it'll go right through that protein. That's all the toenail is anyway, protein. Don't be looking straight down at it when you do it. Yanks that one foul.
I remember from pitching standpoint, if the game wasn't on the line and you were having a good time out there and you threw a slider inside to a left-hander, he fouled it off his leg, you threw one in the same spot to see if he'd do it again.
That's right. That's what hitters hate. Just the specter of you coming back in there with another one.
That'd be it.
Good eye.
That one didn't miss by much, but a good call by Laz Diaz because it did miss.
26,336. Sierra just a decent lead. There he goes. There's strike him out. He's safe. Ball into center field. Moises, as I said, brings a lot of energy to a ball club.
That's a fourth error, and one that could have easily be called an error. Wasn't. Would have been 5 today for the Tigers. Not a good throw, and Sierra knows two things. One, it's in center field, and two, he can beat anybody to third base because nobody's there.
Tool-wise, Moises is right there with most guys. It's all between the ears for him now.
Yeah, if he can somehow get some consistency, understand a little bit more about the game, he can really help because there's not much he can't do.
He can do anything he wants to on the baseball field. Infield in. Breaking ball misses to Tyler, who's 2 for 3. Last time up, just ripped a double into right center field.
The Angels knocked Scott Kazmir from the ball game. They're leading 5-0 in the bottom of the second.
Gordon Beckham, bases loaded walk, and he also has scored. Yeah, that'd be a big hurt right there for the A's.
Huge difference. You're 5 back or 3 back, and you get swept in a 4-game series coming in what, to this point, is the most critical series that Oakland will have played coming to this point, and hasn't been pretty.
Curveball and count 1-2.
Great situation to hit in with the infield in at all 4 positions.
Tries to get him to chase it. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Not go. Full count. Leury on deck. Got him with 3-2 hook.
That'll get a few people if you get it over the plate. Just barely nipped the inside corner, and that looks like it's going to be it for Rick Porcello.
So Rick Porcello will exit. That young man is a good pitcher and getting better. And we'll be back. TV survey during today's game. Provide us with your feedback for 2 tickets to a select White Sox home game and a chance to win a signed Paul Konerko jersey and other memorabilia.
Get a new pitcher coming into the ball game, and it is the veteran left-hander Phil Koch. Koch at 2-2, ERA 4.17. He's on for the 51st time. Doesn't walk many people. Right-handers have absolutely killed them for the tune of 321, and that'll turn Liuri around to the right side.
So 2 out. Moises at third. Outfield shaded slightly to the right. Castellanos at the cut of the grass at third. And Kelly got a step back of the line. And off the line at third. At first, I should say. Change up. Six, 11-0 for us, 2-6 and a huge 4 for them. That's into center field. And that'll retire the side. We'll go to the 8th. We lead it by 4.
Sportsnet Chicago as the White Sox wrap up their series with the Tigers. Adam Dunn has officially left the building. About an hour ago, he finished cleaning out his locker, and then he spent about 15 minutes talking to the local media. And if there's a guy who has been accountable for all of the challenges he's had, it is Adam Dunn, who told us that he himself is the only person that can be blamed for the struggles he had on the South Side.
You know, I'm not going to beat around the bush and say 4 years here was great, because it was, you know, I did. You know, it was just bad. You know, I did it completely to myself. I don't blame them. Just don't want to blame myself. So, but you know, I met a lot of great people here, and you know, I wish things would have worked out better, but it didn't.
Adam Dunn reiterating the relationships he made with people here in Chicago and at U.S. Cellular Field, and also mentioned he is giddy for the opportunity to join a team that is potentially a playoff contender, saying there are other people he has to think about, including his family in this situation. But guys, he also told us that after this season, he will walk away from Major League Baseball.
All right, Jen, good stuff. And we wish him the best. He is a wonderful person.
Zach Putnam comes in the ball game on for the 43rd time. He's 4-2 with an ERA of 1.86 and going down seemingly with every performance.
Low and away to Rajai Davis, who is 1 for 3, a double, and a run scored.
Moises Sierra takes over in left field.
And that's caught. That's a hang whoop. Rajai. That's a hang whoop for Davis.
Bidding for his second hit and quite possibly a second double. Out of the shadows, he's able to hit the daylights out of it, and right now the visibility for the hitters isn't too good. You see the shadows there, and Connor Gillespie goes up, makes the play.
So here is Ian Kinsler. Twice he's gone out to Connor, and he also has doubled, knocked in a run, and scored a run. He has 76 RBIs. Only one to count.
Evan Reed continues to throw in the pen, which would lead you to believe he will come into this one.
Off day tomorrow for our guys, and then Tuesday and Wednesday in Minnesota. Off day on Thursday, and then Friday, Saturday, and Sunday finish off that brief road trip in Cleveland. Only 2 more homestands. 8th through the 14th. Oakland for 4, Minnesota for 3, and then 25th to the 28th. 4 with Kansas City, and that is it for 2014. He gone. 2 down.
There's the pitch. It's gotten a few before him, and it got Kinsler. That good splitter. And Scott Snodgrass loosening up in the bullpen. Recently brought up.
6'6" southpaw.
Yeah, big left-hander.
Torrey Hunter takes a bunt, takes a strike. One and one. Ball and 2 strikes with 2 down here in the top of the 8th inning. 2-2 pitch. He gone. Nice inning for Zach. 1, 2, 3. Couple punch outs, and we'll go to the bottom of the 8th. Adam Eaton will lead it off here for us in our half of the 8th inning. He's 2 for 4, 2 doubles, 2 runs scored. We have 6 runs on 11 hits, no errors. They have 2 runs, 6 hits, and 4 errors. Pass to Bunnett, and a count 0-1. Sox trying to split this 4-game set and even up the season series with Detroit at 8 apiece. Three left for these guys. September 22nd, 3rd, and 4th at Comerica.
Those probably will be critical games.
You would think so. Well, they could be if Cabrera's back. If he's not, they might not be critical at all. That's chop foul. Well, as we talked about, you take Cabrera out of this lineup.
No, different.
Yeah, it's just ordinary looking ball club. Because you can go around Victor.
But he's going to be back. He is. I know he's banged up and really banged up, but he'll be back.
I hope he is.
Pretty soon.
As I said, I hate to see great players disabled. As he gets him, 1 out.
Right now, visibility for the hitters, not too good. I mean, this is the ideal time to pitch. As you can see, the pitcher in the bright sunshine, the hitter immersed in shadows. And because of the light standards, ball seemingly comes to you sequentially, even with the lights on. And they are around the ballpark.
Here's Carlos. He's 1 for 4 with a couple of runs scored and a run knocked in. And now make it 2 for 5. That'll bring up Jose Abreu, 1 for 4, RBI, and here comes the skipper. So he has made the call to the pen as Coke will depart. Evan Reed comes on, and we'll be back. You can save 50% and get MLB.com at-bat premium features for only $4.99. You can follow every White Sox game with live look-ins, replay reviews, live radio broadcasts, MLB TV game of the day, and more. So download on the App Store. Sale in soon.
We get Evan Reed coming in the ball game, and we saw him in the game that Scherzer started. He went an inning and 2/3 in that one with 1 hit and a walk. 29th time. ERA 4.71. He is a hard-throwing right-hander, however, but giving up way too many hits per innings pitched to have any kind of earned run average. And he's going to look at one of baseball's best, Jose Abreu.
Jose 1 for 4 with an RBI. He now has 99 of them. And he now has a 12-game hitting streak. Breaking ball strike.
Patrizia loosening in the pen, and that means he will come into the ball game.
To the count. Little high. 1-2.
Quick throw to first, just back under it. I talked to Brad Osmus about Jose Abreu. He said from the first time he saw him, he was struck by his professionalism. He said, looks like he takes this very seriously, works at his craft. And he said, quite obviously, the numbers have been spectacular, especially against our team, and hitting .443 against the Tigers this year. But he really impressed Osmus, who played 18 Major League seasons and saw a lot of very good players.
There he goes. And he just got a piece of it, fouled it off. He's on a 12-game hitting streak now, and he's been something. We've seen history being made. There's no question about that. Also had a hitting streak of 18 games, won 21 games.
It's been just an amazing year. Triple Crown categories. The average fifth. Home runs tied for second. Runs batted in first. And Nelson Cruz hit his 35th, so he's 2 behind. And I think Nelson, because he is in a pennant race, to me, he's going to be tough to catch in the home run race.
Now, the last American League rookie to finish in the top 10 in all 3 Triple Crown categories was Tony Oliva back in 1964.
Let's say it's been a while. If it's Tony Oliva, it's been a long time.
There you go. Watch out, not hit it.
And that hurt, and that's what you hate to see. Reed throws hard. That one got him just above the elbow at 94.
Well, I wish somebody, as we talked about it several times, would get him to wear that elbow pad.
Yeah, that would be for his health and well-being, because he's going to see a lot of inside pitches, and the better he hits, the more inside pitches he's going to see.
And he's got a bad habit. Every time a ball comes in there, he tucks his elbow into it.
Yep.
So here's Avi. He is 2 for 3, an RBI single, RBI double, and he also has scored a run. That double was just absolutely killed. Oh, you got a cookie right there. Missed it.
High changeup inside. Fouled it back.
That one at 96. That one at 95 upstairs. Got to make him get it down. Count evens at 2 with 1 out, 2 on. Just got a piece of it. Just tuning in, we scored 2 in the first, 3 in the second, 1 in the sixth. They scored 2 in the sixth. No home runs in this ball game. Detroit defense really let Porcello down. Played terrible behind it.
Pretty good pitcher looking for win number 16 coming in. So far, pitcher of record on the downside.
Porcello, one of the better young pitchers in all of baseball.
Despite the fact that this is his 6th year.
Yeah. I mean, 25 years old.
He came up a baby.
And he's done it under the gun with contending teams.
And never been under double digits in wins.
Payoff pitch. So 2 down, double steal. Abreu picks up his second. Sanchez his first.
That's when a lot of catchers, if they thought about it ahead of time, will always go after the trailer. Thinking that, especially in this situation, when Sanchez with pretty decent speed, and Jose as the trailer, go after the trailer, get out of the inning.
Gillespie. 1 for 4 with an RBI. Angels now leading Oakland 6-0. Bottom of the 4th at the Big A. That ball hit hard into left center field. Davis has got to beat the ball, and that'll retire the side. So we will go to the 9th. We lead it 6-2.
Brought to you by Miller Lite, and here's our Miller Moments, and it's the poorest defense. First is J.D. Martinez. He misses it, but it was ruled a double. Then Don Kelly at first base makes a mistake, and Porcello doesn't cover. And then Castellanos. Can't catch it at third. It turns into 3 runs. That essentially put this one away, as Jake Petrichka comes in the game for the 57th time. He's 0-4, but a fine ERA of 2.81. And he's got to deal with the middle of the order to nail it down and get a split in the series.
So here's Victor. Victor is 1 for 3 with an RBI. Picked up his 88th back in the 6th inning when they scored their 2. Get over there. Nice play by Andy. Backs up. Makes his own hop. 1 pitch, 1 out.
As promised earlier in the game, we have the AT&T fan photo of the game. Tweet your photo to hashtag White Sox fan photo for a chance to be shown on our broadcast, brought to you by AT&T.
Here's J.D. Martinez. One and 2. Oh, and 3. He gone.
One, 2, and 3 all in the zone, and this one with late sink.
Here's Castellanos. And this ball game is over. So the Sox gain the split with the Tigers in this 4-game set. Detroit won the opener 7-1. And Chris Sale beat Max Scherzer in game 2 6-3 yesterday. Well, we lost it 8-4, and we win here 6-2. And Quintana, it's about time he got some runs.
Nice outing today, though. He threw the ball very well, and it was nice to see the offense come to play, but it was largely aided by the very bad Tiger defense today. But we'll take it, and splitting with a team that's going for it, we'll take that too.
And let's check out our GMC professional grade player of the game. It is Jose Quintana, 25-year-old southpaw. So for my partner Steve Stone, our director Jim Manjo, our producer Todd Benjaminson, new daddy, our associate producer Dave Ross, our technical manager Mark Harper, for the mayor, me, Joe Group, and also for the executive producer Jim Cornell Jr. What we're waiting for right now is Jen Latta downstairs, and she's got Adam Eaton.
Well, hey there, guys. Adam Eaton, a 2-for-5 day for you, but a couple of web gems from this defense. You in particular, how nice is it to be back out there after being gone for a while?
It's really nice. Like I said before, it looks like you're grounded. You don't get to go out there and play with the guys, and yeah, you know, it's good to be back. It's good to get a couple wins here from Detroit, and hopefully we can keep it going.
Let's talk about that, because you can play spoiler as this playoff race goes down. Do you guys take pride in that position?
Absolutely. If we can't be in the the front runner, but definitely playing spoiler is always fun too. Hopefully we can cause some havoc this last month and show the people what the Sox Nation's what we're going to have next year.
lastly, a lot of new faces out there in the infield. Is there a transition period for you guys as a defense to start getting used to one another out there?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Is there a transition period with the new faces out there in the infield for the defense as a whole?
Yeah, definitely. No, the more you can play with guys consistently, the more, you'll be understanding their calls, what they're going to do, what balls they're going to be able to get to. Same with the outfield. It's going to be kind of a shuffle, but hopefully we can stick with our positions and eventually kind of blend as a unit.
All right, Adam, thank you very much. Guys, Adam Eaton hitting .430 against Detroit this season, and very polite as he didn't hear the question.
All right, Jen, thank you. Good job. This is the Hawk, Ken Harrelson. So long, everybody. Coming up next, Subaru Postgame Live with Chuck and Bill. You've been watching White Sox Baseball, Comcast Sportsnet.